The natural disasters that occur each year cause the death of hundreds of thousands of people, turn millions more into refugees, and cause immense destruction. The magnitude of these catastrophes makes it difficult for rescue crews to complete their mission. This is what happened in 1998 when Cyclone Mitch in Central America left more than 20,000 fatalities. Due to the magnitude of this catastrophe, the International Charter Space and Major Disasters was created during a United Nations conference the following year.
The Charter is an agreement between space agencies following a conference of UN in Vienna in 1999. The ESA, European Space Agency, and CNES, the French Space Agency, decide to develop a charter to supply some satellite data free of charge without delay to organizations dealing with emergency and rescue.
It started off really as an emergency response. It was something which didn't have an international framework other than the desire from the United Nations to see something happen. And it was really the agencies came together with an ad hoc mechanism which said, well, we don't really know the best way of doing this, but let's start by trying if this works.
The idea behind the charter is very simple. And this comes from our need to pool space resources in response to a particular disaster event occurring around the world.
The basic philosophy of the Charter is that the spacefaring nations could share their space resources, especially the satellite images, for the benefit of other nations during disasters.
Today, 10 space agencies actively participate in the Charter, and others are expected to join in the near future. In case of disasters, the Charter can only be activated by appointed institutions, mostly government agencies, such as civil protections and UN aid agencies. National disaster management centers in more than 40 countries today can use a phone number specifically dedicated. They can send a request 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's important to act quickly. Every minute counts.
Request for charter activation.
The request for activation is sent to a project manager who has a pivotal role in coordinating access to satellite imagery. He has specific softwares which allow him to see an overview of the satellites available through the Charter. He decides which satellites must be reprogrammed first.
We can see here NigeriaSat, Landsat 5, and UKDMC. And here we can see that the satellite UKDMC is acquiring scene over the affected area.
He can immediately send his request to the space agencies so that they can quickly orient their satellites to the area affected by the disaster. From one continent to the next, month after month, numerous catastrophes take place. After 10 years, the Charter has been activated more than 250 times. The year 2010 began with a dramatic event, the earthquake in Haiti. Less than an hour after the earthquake occurred, the International Charter Space and Major Disasters was activated. Several organizations worldwide were called upon, and experts produced crisis maps for relief support.
Emergency response at DLR? No, it was about a ComSat image at 9:20, roughly.
These images, provided by the space agencies, must be interpreted by specialists who create satellite maps that are tailored to the needs of the users on the ground. This is the mission of organizations like UNOSAT, CERTIT, or DLR, who work in close collaboration with the International Charter.
En permanence, on essaye d'être à l'écoute de l'utilisateur. Donc une demande particulière, on essaye de la traiter. Par exemple, sur Haïti, on a eu comme demande la zonation des dégâts, bien sûr, la traficabilité du réseau, mais on nous a demandé aussi, pouvait-on voir des ressources en eau pour d'éventuelles stations de production d'eau? Donc tout ceci, ce sont des informations qui vont intéresser ceux qui interviennent.
During the earthquake in Haiti, we had big discussions on the population. Where are the population actually? Because great parts of the capital had been collapsed. So with satellite imagery, we actually managed to get an overview of where all the temporary settlements were, where had people actually put up small tents. Because if we're going to effectively assist them, we need to know where people are.
The acquisition of the satellite data in the context of a charter is the first step. It's not the final step. The overwhelming requirements for the end user is not to have the actual raw satellite data. They don't have the time or the capacity to process that themselves. That's the role of the value adder. We can extract meaningful information and then we can deliver that to them in a range of different formats.
These maps are also used by different humanitarian aid organizations and civil protection agencies who can add information to the maps to help with the logistics and to improve the efficiency of the relief efforts.
On retrouve l'emplacement de l'hôpital de campagne. En bleu, on aperçoit des usines dans les modules qui permettent de traiter de l'eau et de distribuer de l'eau potable à la population. Et on enrichit avec les informations du terrain, mais on pourrait dire, bah, tiens, on va implanter toutes les ONG qui sont sur place, on va implanter tous les hôpitaux de campagne. C'est une aide pour le commandement, mais c'est une aide aussi pour le commandement sur le terrain, pour pouvoir organiser les reconnaissances et distribuer les secours sur place.
In the beginning of 2010, the charter was not only activated for Haiti. Within a few weeks, it was activated for catastrophes that occurred in Peru, Bolivia, Turkey, Chile, and the United States. After 10 years of activities and experience, the International Space and Major Disasters Charter is now available to an increasing number of countries.
The board of the Charter has adopted the principle of universal access, which means that beyond authorized users, we will try to improve access for any place in the world. And for example, the Charter is consulting national users in Africa in 2009, 2010 to discuss with them ways to get improved access to the Charter for disasters.
This expansion applies to all continents. In Latin America, a regional collaboration is led by the Argentine Space Agency and its Disaster Management Organization. In Asia, Sentinel Asia is a similar agreement led by the Japanese Space Agency and the Asian Disaster Reduction Center that now can access the charter.
Last year, collaboration between International Disaster Charter and Sentinel Asia was established. Through the Sentinel Asia initiative, many countries in Asia and the Pacific region can request emergency to the charter. This is a big progress.
The Group on Earth Observation, GEO, based in Geneva, units more than 80 members. The charter is now strengthening ties with this organization and made steps to improve access to satellite services to more countries around the globe.
We now have approaching 300 calls to the Charter in the last 10 years. Few of the major disasters which really stick in my mind was the one particularly bad earthquake on the northwest border between India and Pakistan, where we were able to transcend perhaps the political differences between the countries over that disputed territory and provide humanitarian aid there without recourse to any political problem. Independence, if you like, of space there was able to provide data without having to be restricted by political dimensions. I think it's very much a case of using all parts of mankind's technologies to be able to put them to the use of the whole of the rest of mankind. That's what we're really trying to strive for.